This is the Eyeball on our changing world. I'll be right back. Please stay with me. So I want to talk about Niger. Niger is one of those country that is located in Western Africa. They have a population of a little over 26 million people. Now, the former president of Niger was, his name was what? Mohammed Bazoum. He was basically a puppet of the United States government. He was put there, uh, one of those leaders that you would call, he have a honorary white uh, status. Back in the days in South Africa, when it was the white racist government, when they want to use a person of color or a black person to submit, and they probably put them in power, they assign them the title of honorary white. In other words, you're not white, but you have the same privileges and you can enjoy the same lifestyle as white men and women have. So he was placed in that particular position. He was enjoying it, while the Niger people, the general population, was just suffering. Now Niger is rich in natural resources, so that's good for the West. So they go in there, they exploit, they have a puppet, and this went on until 2023, when the people of Niger could not take it anymore. They have an uprising. So the Niger military took over the country. So now you have a military government. And the military government um, said that the United States, that has a military base in Niger, the military government said, you know what, you guys got to go. We are an independent people. We don't need the United States to have a military base in Niger. You got to get out and get out now. We got to cut. We are cutting all the military ties and agreements that you had with the former leader. The military government said that the agreements they were unfair. They offered no benefit whatsoever to the people of Niger. And in addition to that, the military claimed that it allows the United States to exploit the people of Niger. The military government also made the point that having the United States with a military base in their country, it violates Niger's sovereignty, which is a fact. If you are independent, I mean, what country could have a military base in the United States? Not even close. The West is not going to be happy with that. That would be immediate war. The military government said that it also did not align with an independent democratic Niger, the rules that were laid down between the former president and the United States. So they wanted to have full control of their country and their military. That's what the government of Niger said. They need no external interference. In my opinion, that's fair. you're independent. Africa is thousands and thousands of miles away from the United States. And Niger, the government is saying, "Well, listen, they ain't seeing any benefit. The United States have this huge military base on their country, and all they are doing is flying over with drones, mapping out the country, saying that, well, the base is there to fight terrorism." And Niger, they're saying the government, the military government is saying they are not seeing any kind of benefit. They just want to have a footing in there. So they don't want any external interference. They claim also that the terms was not an equal footing or with the consent of the people of Niger. You know, they're referring here, of course, to the military agreement as to how, why, and where the United States should have a military base. They're totally against that, and they have a right to. They are in their country. It violates democratic rules. If we are talking about the rules-based order that the United States talks about so, vigorously, it violates democratic rules. So they claim, of course, that it did not align with the national direction of Niger. People didn't feel safe. You have your own land. You're an independent country. And you have another country that establishes a military base in your country. You have no right to investigate to find out what they are doing, only what kind of weapons they have in there. Do they have weapons of mass destruction? Could they wipe out your nation in a second? No, that's dangerous. So I can see why any country that is independent, and particularly down there in Africa, due to the history of the Western involvement and the United States, they wouldn't want to have, they should never allow that to happen. And what do you think happened? Immediately, the United States criticized the military government in Niger. Oh, it's like, you don't have a right to tell us to get out of your country. We will decide. So they get pissed off, upset. And what do? The United States sent a delegation to Niger. And they didn't even have the common courtesy to tell them that they're sending a delegation there. That's the attitude. Nothing has changed for the West. It's the same disrespect. We are superior to you. We have the power. We tell you what to do. How dare you telling us that we got to get out? We get out when we want to get out, how we want to get out, if we want to get out. They sent a delegation to Niger, not even telling them that they were coming. No date. They didn't tell them what the delegation comprises of, who were in there. They didn't let the government know what the purpose of the visit to Niger was. Now that, in my opinion, is totally disrespectful. Doubling down. You don't have to know. We are the boss here. So Niger is saying that violates democratic practices, which is true. It violates democratic practices. And that's why I believe that the West is really going to have a very difficult time, a very hard time, because they're not talking to people in Africa with any form any semblance of respect. They're looking at Africa as the same place where they got slaves from, um, where they could go in there, they could assassinate whoever they want to assassinate if they are not listening to the United States and to the West and their rules, on their rules-based order, and they can do as they like. But things are changing. You know, I mean, this unipolar world, if you actually look at what's going on, it's dissolving. We are moving into a multipolar world. Now you have the United States, which is a superpower. Russia is a superpower. China is a superpower. And now you have BRICS. BRICS is now a superpower. You have 4 superpowers right now. And BRICS is getting larger. It's going to be a real problem for the West if they keep approaching things in the old-fashioned way. Now, what's your opinion? Do you think that Niger is making the wrong decision and they should allow the United States to maintain a military base in their country? What's your opinion? This is the Eyeballer, and I thank you.